Morning. If you could come right up here to this chair right next to me.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for your patience and waiting as well.
Of course.
And in fact, you were the last one from, I believe, yesterday's group.
That is correct.
So we made you come back.
Yeah.
All right. Before I turn it over to the attorneys, I'm going to take care of a few matters, ask you a few questions. First of all, I'm going to swear you in so that all your answers are under oath. If you could raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, under penalty of perjury, that you'll truthfully answer all questions about your qualifications to serve as a juror?
I do.
All right, thank you. We have plexiglass between us, plexiglass in front of you. The lawyers also have plexiglass in front of them. And I am going to continue to wear a mask, even though I've had one of the shots. My point being, because of the level of protection we have, you may remove your mask when you're being examined if it's more comfortable for you, or if you think you need to do so to speak clearly. But that's pretty much I'm leaving to you. And even if you take it off at some point, if you feel you want to put it back on, that's also okay. All right?
Okay.
Okay. First of all, you filled out a questionnaire, and thank you for doing that and getting it back to us. It gives us a lot of information to start with. Was everything true on that questionnaire?
Yes.
All right. Any changes or additions that you can think of at this point?
No.
Okay. We have found it's very common that because of the delay between when you filled it out and now, several months, that you on reflection may think, oh, I should have put this in, I should probably add that, or even that was not accurate, or I have an opinion and it's evolved. It's different than it was when I filled out the questionnaire. Both honest opinions, but just it's changed. My point is, you should feel comfortable in giving an answer that is different from the questionnaire.
Okay.
So feel free to do that. What we're looking for is, honest, candid answers. The lawyers are probably going to be directing your attention to specific questions, and they'll even read the question and your answer. Not to be disrespectful, and don't take it as confrontational. It's more to refresh your memory as to what your answer was.
Sure. I appreciate that.
And when you hear those questions, again, you might say, oh, it has changed. I do need to add something. That's perfectly understandable. All right, now the questionnaire also advises you not to read any newspaper articles, online articles, media advisory, or any media about this case. Basically, stay away from the news about this case. But, again, we understand it's been a few months since the questionnaire. You inadvertently may have been exposed to some information about this case or related cases or the parties, anything like that. Maybe see a headline that has some substance in it, or see a news report and you can't turn the channel quick enough. Has that happened to you? Have you been exposed to anything since the questionnaire till today?
I have.
Okay, tell me what you recall seeing.
While at home, I've seen things on the television, and it's just easier and quicker for me to get up and leave the room, and then my husband will either change the channel or mute it.
Okay.
But I heard something about a payout from the city.
And did you hear any specifics about the amount or anything like that?
I don't recall the amount, but I remember hearing millions.
Okay. When you filled out the questionnaire and submitted it, did you think at that time you could be a fair and impartial juror?
Yes.
Did that news that you found out about, did that move you off that position, that maybe you can no longer be impartial, or it doesn't have any effect on my partiality? I can be the same fair and impartial juror as before.
Yes, I think I can be.
Okay. Do you think what effect do you think that hearing about that settlement will have on you?
Well, my initial reaction, of course, was shock, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just, kind of said to myself, well, I didn't hear all of it, so I don't know all of it.
Okay.
And then I just kind of brushed it away.
Okay. That's a good analogy.
Mm.
Any other information you found out about this case? And we know it's all inadvertent because you can't avoid news about this to some
Right.
degree.
I do recall hearing something about some jurors, like about maybe last week, that they were up to maybe 4 jurors.
Okay.
But that's really about it.
Okay, so just the progress we're making here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The important thing to do here is not to say, I haven't read anything, I don't know anything about this case. I don't think there's anybody who knows nothing about this case.
Right.
There are varying degrees of knowledge. Some people have seen a lot, heard a lot, read a lot. Others have seen something but don't recall exactly. And the question is whether you've seen a lot or a little. Can you put all that aside and decide this case just on the evidence that you hear in the courtroom?
Yes, I believe so.
In fact, for example, getting back to that settlement, that's not going to be a part of this case because it was a different lawsuit, different parties, different laws, different issues.
Civil.
Yeah. That's an example of something you heard about, but you have to put aside because it's not going to be in this courtroom. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. Do you think you could do that as far as all you've heard about this case? Kind of put aside what you may have heard outside the courtroom, sweep it away, brush it away, and just focus on the evidence and follow the law that I give to you?
Yes.
And as you sit here right now, do you think you are an impartial juror?
Yes.
Okay, great. Did you recognize any witnesses that were on the witness list?
Yes.
Okay. What type of work do they do? Let's start with that.
I have no idea.
Okay. Is it just one person?
Yes.
Are they in law enforcement?
No.
Okay. Is this a neighbor, acquaintance?
An acquaintance.
Okay. Do you think if that person were to testify that you would treat them the same as any other witness who comes before us?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to order that we go off the audio. As you know, the audio is being broadcast. But I'd like to ask you a question that might be more specific and might identify yourself. So I don't want to do that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So I think what I'm going to do is order that under the rules that this would involve specific information that might identify the jurors, and so we'll go off audio at this time. All right, we are back on audio after a discussion with the juror. They have been excused by the clerk for cause. Reminder to the press that there's no reporting of the substance of an off-the-record, or rather off-audio discussion. It is, in essence, an in-camera examination. So with that, let's take a 20-minute break. Let's come back at 10 minutes to 11. Thank you.